We are living in a natural world, but sometimes we face some problem for sustenance of life. These problems may be from our surrounding, may be related to health, or may be related to the health, may be related to the habitat, may be related to the variety of living organisms around us. So, in this lecture, we will know what is biological problem, what is the method to resolve it, what are their systematic steps, and we will solve that biological problem with the help of example. The case of malaria is an example. So let's start. What is biological problem? Means biological problem is a problem related to the living organism. We solve it by the biological method. So what is biological method? That is a system of advancing knowledge by formulating a question, collecting data about it through making observation, experiment and testing the hypothesis. Is called the biological method. In the previous video, we had discussed the steps of biological method. Before solving the biological method, we should know what is the biological problem. Then we will start the systematic solution of it. First step in the biological method is observation. Observation means noticing something by uses five senses, or sometime by using instrument, sometime by any historical articles. So second step is hypothesis. It means making the intelligent guess. The hypothesis must be in the form of statement and must be testable by the experimentation. Third step is experiment. It means confirm it practically by making two groups. One is control group. It means the group of healthy persons. And second is experimental group. The group of person or organism that are suffering from that biological problem. And after analyzing the data, we will make it the result. Okay, right now we will start biological method with the example of malaria. Malaria, okay. So, what is the history behind it? The history is that many of the people are killed by the malaria. So, previous people, the people of ancient time, they thought that we are living in a marshy places due to the bad air. We are suffering from malaria, and the people have physical condition, fever. So, malaria. Malaria is an Italian word, mala, bad, area, air. So, to solve this problem, previous time people or ancient time people, they make the observation. So, they thought that the disease is caused due to the marshy places, due to the blowing of wind. So, that is caused due to the stagnant water. So, what they did, they took some of the volunteer to make it confirm according to their resources on that time. So some of the people they drank stagnant water, but they made observation that nothing was happened to them. So they tried to find out the solution of it on that time. So they treated that malaria fever with quina trees bark. The quina, then they use the cinchona bark. It means the quina bark was replaced with the cinchona bark for the treatment on that time. So, as the microscope was discovered, so it was investigated. So, by investigation, 200 years later, it was found that some diseases are caused by tiny organisms. So, the scientists try to investigate that microorganism at that time, and they suppose that some microorganisms are cause of malaria. They investigate a biological problem, malaria. So, Leuven began to search on the case of malaria, and he saw the small tiny organism in the blood of malarial patient. So he named it Plasmodium. So he made the hypothesis that Plasmodium is the cause of malaria. So later on they made the hypothesis by deductive method. If the Plasmodium is cause of malaria, then all person ill with malaria should have the Plasmodium in this blood. So, as I said, the hypothesis should be testable by the experiment. So, the biologists make the experiment. For experiment, they divide the people into two groups. One group is called control group. Control group is comprises of healthy peoples. And second, they made the group which is known as the experimental group. It means the group of persons which are suffering from dead disease or dead biological problem. Right now we are discussing the malaria. So what they did in experiment from the control group and the experimental group, they took the blood samples, and after making tests and understanding the microscope, they make the conclusion that in experimental group, it means the malarial patient group, they have the blood in their, they have the plasmodium in their blood, and they found no microorganism like plasmodium is found in the malarial patient. So they make the result that plasmodium is the cause of malaria.